Namaste, namaste, and welcome to Monday Midday Chair Yoga. And today we are continuing our journey through this term of creating a sense of inner strength to find our inner peace so that we can create peace in the world around us. Today we're going to use two bits of equipment. I have a squashy ball, which we're going to work mostly with between the knees. So you can see this ball has about a third of the air left out of it. Anything that will squash will do, but there's one particular exercise that a ball would be useful for. So if you don't have a ball to hand, just don't do that exercise and perhaps invest. They're very inexpensive and very useful. And I've also got a block here. Now, this is quite a brick-shaped block, but it has quite a lot of give. So we are going to stand on this later, and I want it to be a surface that molds to the foot a little bit. If you don't have a block to hand, then simply use a book or something similar that will give you a little bit of lift. I'm going to pop these to one side, and we will begin our practice. So just on your seat, sitting towards the front of your seat, sitting nice and tall, arranging yourself in a lovely upright position, resting your hands wherever they're comfortable. We are going to take the first fingers and thumb tips together and extend through the other fingers, and then just allow the hands to rest in that shape. This mudra, this gesture of the hands, allows us to promote a deeper, slower breath. So fantastic when you're bringing yourself into a more mindful headspace and also more mindful practice. If you would like to, you can close your eyes or simply gaze gently downward. And begin by stepping away from everything that's going on around you in your life, and perhaps in the wider world as well. And mentally stepping into the time and space that you've created for your yoga today. Notice how your body feels in this moment. Notice any areas of stiffness or tension, discomfort. Remember to work compassionately with those places throughout our practice. Notice at least one part of the body that feels peaceful, spacious, and at ease. Allow that sense of ease to ripple out from wherever it's centered. Perhaps you can already feel a softening of your forehead, your shoulders, your jaw. Notice your breath in this moment. We're actually going to start our practice with a very purposeful breath. So we will breathe in and then pause for a moment and then breathe in again, just a little extra sip of breath, and then breathe out through the mouth, making a soft whispered sound. Let's practice a few of these. We're going to pause between each breath just for a moment to let the breath find its natural rhythm again. So observing how the body feels in this moment and then breathing deeply in. Pause, breathe in just a little bit more. Then breathe out through the mouth. Relax for a moment and breathe naturally. This time, as we practice on the exhalation, try to make your exhalation nice and long without strain, without force, just focusing on slowing down that exhalation to breathe out for a little bit longer. Let's breathe deeply in. Breathe in again and breathe slowly out. Allow your breath to find its natural rhythm for a moment, just to observe the effect of your practice. Perhaps you can feel a stronger connection into your feet, into where you're sitting on the chair. Perhaps you feel a further easing of tension from across the body. Let's do one more. Breathing deeply in. Breathing in again. Breathing out. Allow your breath to find its natural rhythm and fall into quietness. Notice how you feel in your body. This technique offers us a neural reset. It actually helps us to really activate the relaxation response in the body and let go of stress and unwanted stress and tension. Whenever you're ready, you can gently draw your chin towards your chest, and then relaxing the hands, maybe even letting the arms rest down to the sides of the body, rolling the right ear towards the right shoulder, and the chin to the chest, and the left ear to the left shoulder. Just a gentle roll from side to side. Your movement doesn't have to be big. It can just be wherever the body's comfortable going. Trying to make it feel nice and smooth, rhythmic, and steady in your movements. We're going to take the right ear over to the right shoulder and just pause there. And as you pause here, allow the shoulders to relax a little deeper. This might be enough. Or you might gently nod your chin. Small movements up and down. Nice and slow and steady. Maybe getting a little bit bigger if you choose, but only if it suits your body. The next time your chin comes down, rolling back through center and over to the left. Pausing to relax the shoulders and starting with something small but slow and steady in nodding the head if you wish to add that movement. These slow, purposeful movements retrain our mind and body connection. When you're ready, drawing the chin back towards the chest, taking a moment to pause and smile, lifting your head upright, taking the bottom teeth over the top teeth, lifting the chin forward and up, holding but breathing. And then slowly coming back through center, relaxing the jaw, chin all the way down towards the chest, just wherever the head naturally goes. Another soft smile and returning to center. Opening your eyes if you wish to, if they've been closed, and then rolling your shoulders a few times. Feels so nice, doesn't it, to do those exercises, those small movements without any expectation, and just feel your tension easing, or perhaps becoming aware of tension you didn't know you had. That's also useful. We can roll the opposite way as well, just making these nice movements, perhaps a little larger if you want to make them a little bigger. They don't have to be big. Just stay small and close to the body if you like. When you're ready, resting your arms, we're going to take our awareness down to our feet for a moment. Let the upper body rest. So we're going to start with a little bit of tapping of the toes. So one foot and then the other, tap and tap and tap and tap. We're angled at the heel, just making that tapping happen. And as you do that, you might feel some of the muscles, particularly the ones along the front and outside edge of the shins, working. Then we can pause and we come up onto tiptoes and then take one heel down and then the other. So a little press of the heels down, one and then the other, I'm doing a little sway, which I realized belatedly, so coming back to center, just making it a little bit more contained. And as you go up and down with the heels, you might notice a little bit more action in the muscles in the backs of the calves. Maybe not. Maybe it feels differently to you. Very good. Then we are going to try lifting the toes of the right foot and the heel of the left, and then swapping to the opposite side. So we're going opposite sides, heel and toe. And this takes a little bit of getting used to. It's a little bit of brain gym for us. So just taking the opportunity. Very nice. We're going to finish with the right heel lifted and the left toe, and then float the feet to the floor. Sit back into your chair and just free your feet from the floor a little bit for some ankle circles. So they don't need to be fast. You can make them slow. Do whatever feels right to you and go in the other direction when you're ready. At the same time, we can relax the upper body, back into the seat a little, just to take some of the effort off our core muscles. Let's roll in the first direction again, trying to slow the movement down and make a fuller circling motion. So trying to explore to the ends of our range of movement, and then the opposite way as well. Really articulating those ankles. Very nice. When you're ready, you can bring yourself back to center and just come forward onto your seat again. So we're going to take our awareness again to our feet, but we're going to take just one leg at a time. So we're going to start with the right foot and then just tap the toe of the right foot to the floor, the ball of the foot really to the floor, as quickly as you can. So really just tap, 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 as quickly as you can, and then rest. Very good. And then the heel of the foot, tapping the heel of the foot to the floor. It's okay if you make a bit of a thumping sound. We're trying to make this movement really rapid as possible. And rest. Ooh. And you might feel it in your thigh. That's okay. So we're going to try doing toe, heel, just on the right leg as quickly as possible. So toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. It's quite hard to do it with the alternating tap. Just do your best. We'll get better with some practice. And rest. That whole leg probably feels like it's been through a workout. We can relax back into our chair seats. Just swing our feet for a little while, maybe side to side and backwards and forwards. Ease out any effort in the thighs. We're going to slide forward and do the same practice with the left leg. So tapping first the ball of the foot, the front of the foot to the floor as quickly as possible. Tap, 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 tap. You might find your dominant side behaves better. Maybe, who knows? And then rest. So we're looking for about 10 seconds, that's all. And then the heel of the left foot. So lifting the toe, tapping the heel of the left foot to the floor. Rapid, gentle or not so gentle. If you need to make it stronger, go for it. Tap, 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 and rest. Ooh, I can really feel that in my leg. And then we're going to go toe, heel, or ball of the foot, heel of the foot. So just backwards and forwards. We're trying to go as quickly as we can. This tap, 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 alternating between the front and the back of the foot. It's quite toughy. We'll get better at it. And then resting. Sliding back into your seat, just making any motions with the legs that feel good. So it could be a little stir of the feet so that the legs move from the knees downwards and in the opposite direction as well. Just a little swinging to relax the effort in the legs. Maybe a few more ankle circles if it feels good. And then coming forward to rest the low body while we take our awareness back to the upper body. So we're going to take our hands out in front of us and make some nice wide fingers as we breathe in, and then wrap the thumbs into the palms and the rest of the fingers around the thumbs as we breathe out. So Nice and steady, breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Feel free to follow your own rhythm of breath. You don't need to follow mine. Breathing out. Let's do 2 more. Breathing in, spread the fingers as much as you can. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Very nice. Just relax the arms down to the side. Give the shoulders, the arms a little swing to relax the shoulders. We're going to interlace our fingers here in front of the body, and then with the palms together, just rolling the wrists one way and then the other. We're going to try and keep the elbows close to the body as well. Very nice. Let's roll the opposite way. Very good. And it's okay if you have some sort of crunchy going on, as long as it's not associated. None of the sounds our body makes are associated with pain. That's okay. We're going to relax, just shake the arms out to the sides. And then we'll begin with some nice circling of the arms. So we're just making big circles with the arms around the body. And if we can, trying to lift the chest a little as the arms go up, and maybe drawing the chin towards the chest as the arms go down. So not fully, just letting the head and the neck follow the natural movement of the spine with our arms. So we're allowing the movement of the arms and the shoulders to encourage a little bit of movement through the back of the body as well. So from the side, it looks like we open and then come a little bit forward. Gentle lift, gentle forward bend. And just keeping going. We're going to do 2 more of these. Try and expand into the space around you, but keep it nice and slow and steady. Pause for a moment. Just shrug the shoulders or wriggle the shoulders, move the head in any way that feels good, readjust clothing as necessary. And then we'll do the same thing the opposite way. So we're going to reach the arms back first to open the chest, reaching up, and then as the hands come forward, we can just do a little gentle rounding through the body in chin to chest. Breathing in as we take the arms around the body and up behind us, maybe, and breathing out as the hands come forward and down. Feel free to move faster if your breath moves faster. Or you might like to make 1 whole breath on the way up and 1 whole breath on the way down, instead of making 1 breath for each circle of the arms. Let's do 2 more. Taking this opportunity just to find some movement in places that don't normally move. Very nice. Releasing the arms down to the side, just giving them a little shrug and a shake. And we can take a moment to organize ourselves back upright. We're going to take the arms nice and wide. If you can, make cactus arms. So we're bending at the elbows. We don't want the elbows to be high here. We want them to be about chest height, maybe shoulder height at the very most. Our palms facing forwards and with a nice bend in the elbows. If your elbows don't bend so much, it's fine. Just do what your body naturally does. We're going to draw the elbows behind the body a little and draw the elbows in front of the body. Try to bring the elbows together if you can. So to begin with, we're not focusing on the hands at all, just the elbows and the upper arms moving. You can allow your head to move with this movement if you would like to. You don't have to, but you absolutely can. Once you're warmed up, just think a little bit more about drawing the elbows behind the body as we lift the chin. And then as the elbows come forward, turn your palms to face towards your body. Turning your palms to face away from your body as the elbows come back and out to the sides. Turning your palms to face towards the body and the face as the elbows come towards each other. If you want to, you can allow your head to move with this movement as well, just encouraging a bit more coordination across the upper back. Maybe one more. All the way out to open, all the way in, turning the palms back towards the body. We are going to sit tall, reach the arms out and float the arms down to the side. Just give your shoulders a lovely little roll. Oh, feels so good. Little shrug, anything that helps us release. Fantastic stuff. So here in the center, we're going to press into the feet standing tall and then just gently twist a little from side to side. So we're not looking for anything in particular in terms of shape. It's more about sensation. So we're just letting the hands come across the body in one direction and then the other, firming the belly muscles by drawing them inwards and upwards, feeling that lift into the crown of the head as we turn from side to side. One more to each side. And back to the center. Shoulders nice and relaxed. Let's take our cactus arms again. So here with the arms out to the side of the body, look to each side and just notice if your hands are over the elbows or slightly in front. If you can, get them over the elbows and draw the elbows back a little so that they're really at the sides of the body. Press into your feet again. As you do so, activate the legs, sit tall, and then gently turn from side to side. Turn a little less when we haven't got the upper back involved as well. So just noticing how it feels. You might need to press into your feet, firm those belly muscles even more. Let's do one more to each side. And then back to the center. Oh, relax the arms down to the side. Give yourself a little wriggle or a jiggle, anything that feels good in this moment. Let's take our feet nice and wide apart. We can even move on our chairs so that we're across the corner of the chair, which gives the thighs and the hips a little bit more room to move. Here, if you can, just turning one knee towards the floor and then the other. You can do this either holding onto your chair for a bit of support or just allowing your body to move a little bit with your knees as well. Some people like to pivot on their heels here. You can let your weight roll across one side of the foot and then the other. Doesn't matter. We're just looking for a little bit of movement happening in the hips with the legs moving, generating that happening. Lovely job. Let's do one more to each side. When we're ready, we can come back to the center and then just allowing the legs to be wide but supportive, pressing the feet into the floor, sitting tall. We're going to place the right hand down on the right leg and reach the left arm up and maybe over. Up to you. We are not doing this to coordinate with our breath. We're just breathing and moving slowly from one side to the other, leaning onto the left leg, reaching the right arm up and over. Remember, you don't need to make any particular shape. It's only about the sensations that we feel. We're going to try and keep our chests facing in the same direction as our shoulders. If you wish to, you can come down onto your forearm instead of your hand, which gives you a little bit more lean, but only if it feels comfortable. There's no need, just going with the body you've got in this moment. We are going to hang out as we lean over to the right this time. So we're holding this position. Now, if it's not comfortable to have your arm all the way up, you might have your arm on your hip, or you might even slide the back of the right hand behind the body to open the back of the left hand behind the body to open the left shoulder back a little bit. We can press also into our right hand or forearm against that right thigh. Think about pressing your feet down and gently lifting the belly muscles, maybe gently turning the torso a little bit. You might even look to the left. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. We're going to gently unwind a little bit and then slide our way back to the center. In the center, wriggle anything that needs wriggling, and then the same thing to the other side. We're leaning over to the left. We can reach the right arm up and over, or if that's not comfortable, to hold, then you might rest your right hand on your right hip, or slide the back of the right hand to the left hip, press into the left hand, just roll the right shoulder backwards, a little lift in the belly muscles here, maybe even looking to the right. What we want to avoid is hunching the shoulders up to the ears. We want to have a sense of space along the back of the neck. Deep breath in, deep breath out, and just gently gliding back towards center. We are going to bring the knees a little closer together so that the feet point forward, but there's space for the body between the knees. I'm going to sit a little bit further back onto my seat, and then we're going to lean forward, sticking the bottom out behind us so we've got a nice long back. Little gentle sway of the chest from side to side. Begin to scoop the belly muscles inwards and upwards. Don't let that make you hold your breath. And in the center, if you wish to, you can fold a little deeper down. You might even rest on your forearms. If you want to, you can slide your hands all the way down towards your feet and let your head come into a position that feels good. Now, if you need more support with the upper body, you can bring the knees closer together, or you can relax the shoulders, relax the back of the neck, and just take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Slide the hands to the tops of the knees, press into the feet, firm the belly muscles. Think about lengthening the crown of the head into the room as you come to an upright position. And as you do, we're going to bring the knees even closer together. If you're on the corner of your seat, you might bring yourself forward a little bit as well, just to make space. And then we will take 3 cleansing breaths. So breathing in to take the arms around the body and up. Breathing out, drawing the palms together at the center of the chest. Breathing in, arms around the body and up. Breathing out, palms together, center of the chest. Last time, breathing in, arms around the body and up. Breathing out, palms together, center of the chest. Relax your arms down to your side. Make any wriggly schmiggly movements that feel good. And we're going to do our sit to stand. So for this, I want to be on my seat, perhaps a little bit more of the buttocks, maybe the top of the thigh on the seat, but I want to be facing away from the chair back, so I've got a nice long bit of the seat behind me, no longer across the corner. Feet underneath the knees, and we will firm the belly muscles. We're just going to hover the hips and then sit down again, doing our best. So we hover and release. And if you do a sort of gentle lift and lower like this, and that's what your legs are doing today, that is absolutely fine. We're building up to being able to gently swing the hands forward to hover, hold briefly, and then release. Hover and release. Still firm in the belly muscles. Hover and release. We'll do one more like this. Hover and release. Now we're going to take the left foot and just step it slightly back. So it doesn't need to be super far back, and obviously our chair's in the way, but we are kickstanding effectively with our left foot. Ball of the foot on the floor, right leg, right foot has not changed. It's exactly where it used to be. We'll do the same thing. If you're new to this practice, take your time with it. So firm in the belly, you've got the seat behind you, it's not moved. We press into the feet to hover and release. Hover and release. Hover and sit. Let's just do those 3. We'll swap legs. Take your left foot back to where your right foot is, and then move your right foot into that toe under kickstand position. Sitting tall, firm in the belly, 3 hover and sit. Lovely jump. Hover and sit. Hover and sit. Very nice. feet back so that they are side by side in front of the chair, but also underneath the knees. And now we come all the way up to standing, but we're going to hover first. So firm in the belly, plenty of your body on the seat. Hover briefly and then press into the feet to stand really tall. At the top of the movement, open your arms and let your hips gently swing slightly forward. Nice and firm in the belly and the buttocks. To come back the opposite way, we reach the hands in front of us as we bend at the knees, reach the tailbone back and gently sit down. Chair hasn't moved. And if your chair does move, practice this with your chair right up against a wall so that it will not move. It will always be exactly where you expect it to be. Firm in the belly muscles. Let's do that again. So we're reaching forward, we find that hover, we press into the legs to stand all the way tall, opening the chest, maybe lifting the hips slightly forward, and then coming back the way we reach the hands forward. We counterbalance that with reaching the tailbone back. If you need to, feel for your chair until you build up confidence. Please do so. Don't be afraid to sit down. Let's do 2 more like this. Hover, standing tall, reaching forward to bend at the knees and sit gently down. Hover, stand tall, reaching forward and sitting gently down. This time we're going to hover, stand all the way up and stay standing all the way up, floating our arms down to the side, just making any wiggly motions that feel good. Hopefully our feet feel really, really grounded, that sense of being really secure on the foot. It's exactly where you expect it to be. It feels like you've got that connection into the floor. And oftentimes we find peace in our bodies when we feel that sense of being supported, so that we can not be quite so vigilant or anxious. So let us shake out our legs a little bit. Ooh. We're going to find more ways to tap into that feeling of being nice and secure, nice and centered. And some of that is to find our balance as well. So we'll do a little bit of that in just a moment. But before we get there, a little bit of catty chakrasana, one of our favorite practices. Nice and soft in the knees. We're just gently going to swing the arms from side to side as we twist, letting the arms wrap around the body, letting your head follow the movement if it feels good, and if you feel more prone to dizziness, just keeping your head facing forward, or just a small amount of movement from side to side. Whatever suits you best. Yoga is all about finding the practice that really resonates with us, that is effective, but also finding a way to do a practice that is really effective. If you wish to, you can pivot on your toes. You can slow your movement down. You don't need to do it so quickly once we add coordination. If you wish to, you can add a soft bounce in the knees, a bounce and twist, maybe touching the opposite side of the chest in front of you, opposite side of the rib cage behind you, giving the arms a destination. We are thinking about lifting in the belly muscles and lifting in the crown of the head, just keeping your movement nice and rhythmic. Our nervous system really enjoys steady rhythmic motions. Think about how we tap a baby's back when we're holding it over our shoulder. It settles their nervous system, just the same as this kind of tapping on our own bodies settles ours. When you're ready, you can begin to come back towards center, eventually allowing your feet to find steadiness and your body to sway back to center as well. Just give yourself a little roll of the shoulders, an organize of everything. And then we will take our balls that we had to hand earlier. So this is the one practice that we need a ball for. Excuse me. But I'll show you a way to do it without a ball as well. So we are going to to make a motion where we stand on one leg, which would be the foot nearest the chair, doesn't matter which one that is. And then we are moving the other leg around our standing leg. So we're almost drawing a little circle on the floor. And we can all start with this variation. So standing on your standing leg, standing nice and tall, firming in the belly muscles, using a wall as well for support, or two chairs if you think you might need some extra support, pointing your outside leg forward. We're just going to cross the leg over in front of our standing leg and draw a circle around to cross maybe a little bit behind. It's quite hard to cross behind. So just making sure that you do something that feels good to your hips. So this is us at number 3. Let's do 2 more. We still need to think about that standing leg, standing really tall. And we are also thinking about our core muscles, keeping us standing nice and up. When you're ready, standing onto both feet. And here, if you would like to, holding the chair or not, just doing a little march in place. Apologies, I've got a really sticky mat, so you might hear a little bit of that. So our ball variation is to place the ball between the thighs. We don't need to think about squashing the ball so much. It's just there to provide us a little bit of support. But we do want a little bit of pressure into the ball. And then we do the same thing. We're standing on the standing leg closest to the chair. We've got here perhaps your foot of the outside leg hovering from the floor. And then holding the ball between the thighs, we make those sweeping circles with the outside leg. And it's okay to keep the foot off the floor. In fact, it would even be a little bit better to keep the foot off the floor if you can. Nice and tall, nice and firm in the core muscles. Don't worry if your ball begins to wiggle itself away. We're just doing one more, and then we're going to come to center, remove the ball, step onto both feet, and just notice how that feels to one side of the body and then the other. Now I'm changing my chair to the opposite end of my mat, so it's easier for you guys to see as we continue through practice, but feel free just to turn around in your space. Working with the other leg now, so our standing leg is now the opposite side. We're going to hold on to whatever we might be using ball-wise or not, and then just point the opposite foot and draw a nice circle around the body on the floor. So just trying to circle to the front, across the body if you can. It's across the body, front and back, that really is a movement that we don't often make. So it's quite good to make that. I can't remember if we did 5 of these or 3 of these on the other side. Let's say we'll do 1 more. Apologies, guys, I'm forever losing count. And then coming back to standing on both feet, maybe doing a little march in place just to release any effort in the legs. You can always give the legs a little shake out as well. It's quite a nice thing to do. Then we take our weight onto the standing leg again, place the ball between the thighs. If you don't have a ball, just continue to do those on the floor as we did before. Press into the standing foot, standing really tall, and then we're hovering the outside leg so the foot is mostly off the floor, making those circles in front and behind. We're squeezing the ball ever so slightly. I'm going to have to reposition mine, so that we create a little bit of effort on those inner thighs. Very good. I think 1 more. Why not? And then we're going to come back to the center again, marching in pace, shaking out the legs, whatever feels good. Smashing. Let us come to our first side again. This is just a little bit of extra gym for me, moving the chair from one place to the other. These chairs are so heavy. So now we're going to take the ball, but it could be a block this time. So you could easily do that with a block this time, between the knees, and we are going to bend the outside leg. So standing nice and tall, bending at the knee. Doesn't matter how bent, but if you can, bending almost to a right angle between the knee and the calf and the shin. And then we are going to draw that foot round to the outside, keeping the knees together so it looks like I'm drawing my knees together but sticking my foot out to the side. And then we're going to go the opposite way. So we draw the foot across the body behind us, sticking the knee out to the side. So we are pivoting here at the hip to draw that foot out to the side and then back across the body. We've got 2 more to do. We've got a tiny bit of press of the ball towards the inner thigh of the standing leg. And then we step onto both feet, make any wiggles. So this time you might want to wiggle your hips rather than anything else. Very nice. We'll do the same thing to the other side. So standing leg, ball between the knees or between the thighs, bending the outside leg so that you come up to that almost right angle, and then pivoting all the way out, pivoting all the way in, all the way out, all the way in. We have that lovely movement through the hip that we sometimes don't get a lot of. Very good. We're going to do 1 more. Very nice. Back to the center. Step onto both feet. And again, it might be hip circling or marching or just wiggling something or releasing the legs in some way that works best for you. We can put these balls to one side. They're really useful. I firmly recommend investing. They're available in all sorts of places in the UK, places like Home Bargains, for example, but also online on Amazon that works. Let us step away from our chairs and take a downward dog. So hands onto the chairs, sliding the hips back, keeping the knees nice and soft. Begin by taking length into the body from the tailbone all the way to the tips of the fingers and the crown of the head. And then if you'd like to, you can sway your hips gently from side to side, bending one knee a little deeper and then the other. This is a really nice way to release effort and tension from the low back, the sides of the body. And then in the center, perhaps just spending a moment holding a simple downward dog, scooping the belly in, finding that length, maybe a gentle turn of the head. 1 more deep breath in and out, space underneath the arms, and then bending the knees to look forward to the seat, walking your feet in to stand all the way tall, making any adjustments that you need to clothing or the like, but also noticing if you feel dizzy or if you don't. It's okay. If you don't, it's absolutely fine. Wriggling out the legs again. So I promised you some work on the block, and we're absolutely going to do that. So we're going to take our blocks. Slightly spongy block is best, but it doesn't matter if it isn't, and stand onto our blocks. Perfect. As we stand onto our blocks, it's very common for us to lean into our support. Try, if you can, to keep your hips centered over your foot, back of the hand or fingertip touch on the chair or a wall, or on both sides if you would like to. We're just going to dangle this outside leg down and do a little gentle swing forwards and backwards. You might need to flex your foot a little, but notice on a spongier surface, which could easily be a pile of cushions actually, your standing leg has to work a little bit harder. You might point your toes forwards and flex your heels backwards, but we're not interested in how much movement this front leg, this outside leg is doing. It's more about what the standing leg is doing. So we're thinking about providing enough instability with our movement. So we have to work the standing leg to stand tall, firm the belly, firm that space between the shoulder blades, firm all of the action across the leg as well. When you're ready, bringing the legs towards each other, still floating that outside leg off the floor, just hoik your hip up and down. So imagine you're lifting the sole of your foot up and down. You get a little bit of this lovely tilting action across the hips. If it feels like too much, just resting. If you can manage 2 more, that was great too. Last one, up and down, and then step onto both feet. This standing leg will feel the effort. It is supposed to. It's all of that effort we're doing is to create strength, resilience, stability. So now as you stand onto both feet on the floor suddenly feels so restful because you've done lots of work with just 1 foot on the floor. Let's do our final side with our final big practice for today before relaxation. So again, stepping, I'm just going to turn my block actually because the imprint of my foot is still there. That would make it a little bit tougher. So standing onto your spongy block or spongy surface if you can, taking the hip right over that foot, not sliding it towards your chair, fingertip or back of the hand touch on the chair, and then just beginning with a gentle swinging of that outside leg. And as we do that, we get used to what's going on. So our standing leg is working hard, belly muscles, the muscles across the upper back are, and then we might begin to point the toe forwards and flex the heel backwards on that moving leg. And it might be that you want to do a little bit more, but low is fine here. We don't need to do more. Our ankle and the standing leg is working really hard as well. Lovely work. All that stability is happening, working the core muscles. And then when you're ready, bringing your legs back towards each other, and then just lifting that outside hip up and lowering down. It's like we're drawing the hip towards the shoulder and then lowering. Or if you like, lifting the foot away from the floor and lowering it down. We don't want to bend the knee of the standing leg, but we can keep it soft. Very nice. If you can do 2 more, 3 more. 2 more now. Very good. And then step onto both feet. Take a moment here just to stand on your feet. Feel the effort dissipate gently from the muscles. Maybe you'd like to stir the hips a little bit in circles. Feel free to make any other motions that feel good to you. We can take one final downward dog with our chairs, placing the hands onto the chair, walking the feet away. Think about gliding the hips behind the heels to create length, the knees remaining soft. If you can, bringing the head between the upper arms, not lower. So try to keep nice effort in the back of the neck, maybe a gentle sway of the hips from side to side, pressing into your chair. Oh, feels so nice, doesn't it? In the center, perhaps you want to hold in stillness, just feeling your way in. That scooping in of the belly, length through the back of the body, as soft in the knees as you need, and then coming to an upright position, pressing into the hands, walking your feet in, taking a moment to make sure there's no feelings of dizziness, disorientation. You feel strong, steady, and stable. You can release your hands down, make any adjustments with your clothing. I meant body, but with me, it's always the clothing that's shifting around. And then, when you're ready, preparing for relaxation. So you have really deserved the relaxation we're doing today, or you do really deserve the relaxation we're doing today. So just grabbing perhaps an extra layer, some socks for those who would like them. Excuse me, I'm fighting a little bit of a cough here. It is always the way at this stage on Monday because I've taught a few classes back to back and my voice is a little tired. Oh. However, we won't let that worry us at all. We're going to wrap ourselves up. I seem to have engineered a matching blanket and jumper, which is unintended, but fantastic. And settle yourself back into your chair, making any adjustments. If you can, relax, reclining on a sofa or lying on your bed. And please feel free. You might want something underneath your knees if you're lying down on your bed. Take a moment to organize yourself, and then, resting the hands wherever they're comfortable, simply close your eyes. Try bringing your body towards a little stillness. We'll work further towards stillness in just a moment. At the beginning of the class, we used a technique where we breathed in at the top of the breath, breathed in again, and then breathed slowly out through the mouth. And we are going to do this 3 times now. So breathing deeply in, pause, breathe in again, and out through the mouth. Two more like that. Breathing in again. Slow, long exhale, softening the effort across the face, the shoulders, the jaw. Breathing deeply in. Breathing in again. Long, slow exhale, softening back, softening down, surrendering into your chair. Let your breath find its natural rhythm. Fall into quietness and observe the deeper stillness of your body. Take your awareness into your forehead, feel it soften further. Allow the area around your eyes to relax. Your mouth, tongue, jaw to release. Allow the whole of your body to feel heavy, warm, supported, softening back, softening down. Move your awareness to the space over you and around you. Feel the gentle touch of air on your face. Feel the weight and the warmth of the blanket over you. Feel the sensation of your clothes moving on your skin as you breathe. Tune into your breath. Observe the steadiness of your breath, its smoothness, its depth. Allowing your breath to flow naturally. Observe the rise and fall of the body as you breathe. And then becoming aware of the pattern of your breath. Sometimes we notice a pause just after we finish breathing in, before we start to breathe out. Sometimes there's a pause after we finish breathing out, before we start to breathe in again. Notice these moments of pause wherever you find them. Notice the stillness in the breath in these moments of pause. Without holding the breath. Notice that deeper sense of stillness of the body in those moments of pause. Notice the deeper sense of peace in your mind in those moments of pause. Perhaps you feel as if time is suspended in those moments. That sense of peace deepening, expanding, enveloping the whole body and mind. Allow your awareness to rest in those moments of peace, in every breath, for the remainder of our relaxation. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Bring your awareness back into your hands and your feet by moving your fingers, your toes, maybe rolling wrists and ankles. When you feel ready, taking a long, deep breath in and stretching, maybe stretching the face in a yawn, maybe lengthening the arms and the legs, or maybe stretching one side and then the other. Maybe bending one knee into the chest and then the other. When you feel ready, bringing your hands to rest wherever feels comfortable, perhaps together at the center of the chest. Sitting tall and taking the chin towards the chest. Just taking a moment to feel that deeper sense of stillness and ease. Really tuning into where you find that sensation in your body. Notice how your body feels as the result of your practice, and also how you feel in yourself. Perhaps you feel a sense of deeper ease, contentment, or just the ability to let go of things that have been causing you suffering, interfering with your joy. Perhaps you feel galvanized into action in some way to effect a change for yourself or others. Perhaps you realize the perfection that is you just as you are. Give yourself a smile, and when you're ready, raising your head and opening your eyes. I really hope that you've enjoyed this practice. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope that you will take that deeper sense of ease and peace and share it with those around you in the week ahead. Namaste.